Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na the last day for this year 2021, number 31 day for this month, December 2021. My name is Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, Ambazonian Governing Council. Background song Nanguluma. Welcome to my daily podcast. As we come for the end of year, I wish I could take time to recap this past year. The only good thing I say, Cameroon military, they didn't die for inside Ambazonia like American military they did die for inside Iraq for the last days for the occupation of Iraq. We done do the presentation for recap the year 2021, the year of the Akamanso. It is a year where Ambazonian Defense Forces them, the ADF, they don't show the world say Ambazonia indeed it be capable and it controls statically Ambazonian territory with the display of an upgrade of our mobility with military vehicles, construction of schools, hospitals, even stadium for parade grounds, and expansion of those liberated areas into Manu, into new areas in Lebialem, and much more. But today, I go still want for come back for the incident will take place for inside Chomba, where Cameroon military then come for Money House, way down run Quarterhead, big man for Presbyterian Church, can catch ye and a woman with one other lady, we come for dinner just for charge the phone. After they run enter for inside bush, because Cameroon military then enter for their village, they shoot anyhow. Then carry them, move picking for woman in the back, put them for ground. These animals them, they no see woman the way they cook chop. See papa, see picture them for church, for war house for that house. Remember back their own mommy them, because they need to see we like human beings. Then drag them, go them, keep them. Then get enough time for interrogate. Then get enough time for call. As a matter of fact, the family immediately act for hire lawyer as soon as I here for the interview. Go for governor office. Even the governor, for intervene. The man will either pretend for talk say be papa for picking them. Then go for SDO. Then go for court. None of them no be fit intervene. The Cameroon military, their best unit, be well trained, well disciplined, execute those 4 individuals, including a 12-year-old boy. Keep their body for rotten for inside house. They no hide them for we, because they know say we are slaves and there is nothing we can do. They have enough enablers, enough collaborators within our society to cover up and suppress what happened. My fellow Ambazonians, we cannot accept this new to become the nature of our union, illegal union with La Republic, that the Cameroon occupation will be accepted as something where they go feed enter for people the house, where they never do anything. There is no indication say they can do anything. There is no reason, no shooting, enter carry people like this of this caliber and execute them. Keep their body may go see them. And the people for Chomba, then Shidong, they not rise up, they not talk. Then therefore they then get chief. Then get quarter head them where the people they will stay with them. Then get church member the way the people they stay with them. Then get school the way the people they are picking they go for the people that know the truth. And there is no reaction. This is not acceptable. The people for Chomba, you cannot betray yourself. You must stand up and demand. If you don't demand, then there should be no chief in Chomba. There should be no quarter heads in Chomba. There should be no churches in Chomba. We as human beings, we cannot allow ourselves to be degraded to this level where our blood will mean nothing to us. It is difficult for me to wrap my head about the inaction. It is really, have we lost our sense of revulsion? Will the quarter heads, will the family heads, will neighbors not even sit around and gather and think of how to reply? We must learn how Taliban, they take out the United States superpower out of their country. Children, even with rubber guns, can bring down drones. The fathers around, they should know that even their den guns can protect their villages from an invading army that goes around killing babies, removing deacons from church, execute them, dragging women who are cooking fufu from their house and kill them. We have seen the SDO in Cambe, where they have used bribery and corruption and turned them into dummies. We have seen how the SDO have removed people randomly, gather quarter heads, gather our people, send them to be tortured and extorted by the Cameroon military. If this cannot wake you up, what can wake you up? We cannot and we must not and we will not accept this as a new normal. We will continue to fight, and we shall fight even harder and even more fiercely. The boys in Chomba should rise up, pick up their guns. If their father will not use their den guns, they should pick up their den guns and fight as we look for AKs for them. This 2022, as we will be implementing the plan of the vision of the governing council, I will not be pampering any longer. I have had two major feedbacks which I would want to respond, irrespective of where they come from. The first one, now for an anonymous guy, they call himself a mechanic. He sent out an audio, and he talks say why Capo Daniel would it be very brutal on the IG? Is it not the same us who have been allied with them? And my answer is yes. We have been an allied with Seseko, irrespective of the hijack of Skakuf. The Ambazonia Governing Council still respect him, and they have been regarding the IG as a group on its own, without claiming so much on the fact that it was a hijack. They hijacked a common platform that was created by others. Nevertheless, we had respect Seseko, and we had worked with the IG with good faith. But when an organization betrays that which we are fighting for, then we have no choice but to call them out. When an organization comes out to term actions that they know and have information that these actions were due to collective consensus with the purpose of exerting Ambazonian sovereignty by demanding tax, and they do not come out to challenge it based on differences in policy, but they did legitimize it and call it an act of kidnapping for ransom, then they have betrayed the cause for which we are fighting for, Ambazonian sovereignty. You cannot say actions for Ambazonian sovereignty are criminal in nature. That is a betrayal. Just like self-defense, you cannot say our soldiers who carry out self-defense against Cameroon military are guilty of criminal actions or murder. That would be a betray of the cause and delegitimizing of a just cause. Our cause is just, and anybody that claims to be fighting for independence or the assertion of our sovereignty as a people cannot go down that road. If you do that, you have betrayed the cause, and you will have the same backlash from us. It does not matter who you are. If everybody else is bad, we will call them out for what they have done. And the claim that Bo Herbert have been calling out the IG for the same, it is false. The reason why Bo Herbert left the IG was two things. The first, when the Secretariat of Skakuf decided to hijack the joint platform and illegally transform it into the governing council, they kicked out Maurice and all the founding groups that owns Skakuf, that created Skakuf. And the second reason is that Bo Herbert insisted that they must have election and he will create a government. So one of the main reasons that the IG created the government was because Maurice under Bo Herbert decided to do an election to elect the prime minister, even though they will lie to the Ambazonian people that it is because they have 6 countries that are going to recognize us as independent country if we create a government. We know that most of what they do is based on lies. They don't come and justify things. They don't think thoroughly on how what they decide as policy will help us move the struggle, but they are more concerned about preserving power for themselves, even though they are patriot. But it is unpatriotic. Their policies and what they do, their motivation, have clearly shown that they are putting their ego above our flag, above our anthem, and above our people. And there is this new guy that the IG have brought to replace Chris Anu. He's called Paddy. Not that he has anything to do with the Paddy Asanga who is working with the Cameroon military.
Lucas comes and now revealed actually that he was sent by Choayaba. So his integrity to have organized a neutral conference was messed up. Now,
so this guy spent his time saying that Lucas Asu, the PS, and I, Capo Daniel, who initiated the Canadian conference, we were all sent by Abacho, we were all agents of the Ague of Sea, and he's doing this misrepresentation. People should stop lying. Our people deserve better from us. We should have some standard. This has nothing to do with any group. It is just normal that when people lie, do things based on falsehood, that they should be called out. If there are 100 of them, we will keep on calling them out. This guy have to know something. When Mr. Lucas Asu and myself, we sat down as 2 activists and consulted how can we bring unity, how can we help Ambazonian people to come together and bridge the differences that the various movements have. We decided that it would be good that an independent group set up a conference that will be accepted by all the movements. That is how we conceived the idea of the Canadian conference, and we think about who is the best person who is neutral. We didn't look about somebody who is prone to support us or not. We look at somebody who have a good track record of being neutral, and we decide the best way to approach them. Mr. Lucas Asu initiated the contact with those people in Canada that will have demonstrated a support, both financially, morally, and intellectually, to all sides, and pick them out and tell them they can do this initiative. And we support it from the back. Every single Ambazonian, from Mark Barata, Tapang Ivor, including Eric Tato and all the rest, were actually brought on board to be an advisor. Everybody had equal opportunity. We did not influence them. We did not stand to show that to get any political capital from it. No. So if this guy spend his time and say that me and Lucas, we go into every group to try to destroy them, that is just a lie. What would he say about Bo Herbert coming out to explain how they gathered with Sako, planning on how to destroy Ayabacho? It came from Bo Herbert. When all the leaders, the IG refused to attend the meeting in Canada, they said that the meeting should be removed to Washington. All the leaders came there and had a meeting only by themselves. So will he blame Lucas Asu and myself for Sako leaving out of that meeting, going and lying to Chris Anu, who went and sabotaged everything? And Ayabacho was now forced to even abandon the money that was raised to them. How does that connect to me and Lucas Asu? That we try to bring people out and they end up falling apart. He now wants to claim that it was a conspiracy from Ayabacho. How does it even make sense to these people? But they continue to feed our people with this garbage. They have been feeding our people with this garbage against Ayabacho, creating all this conspiracy baselessly. At least when we talk to you, we bring you facts, we bring you substantial evidence, and we do not hide behind blame games. We think better of you. That is why we speak good to you. These people have no shame at all. We do not go out there try to destroy every group so that the egg of sea should stand. The egg of sea have brought people together before. They were instrumental in creating Skakuf. They have been instrumental in every initiative to bring people. It is just that the people do not want to work together because they want to conserve power for themselves. What is the reason that Siseko will refuse all proposal for unity? Why? Because he wants to claim exclusive power as a government and a head of state. Even if by doing so, it is going to suppress and make the other groups that are effective not to be effective. And we will not even have the independence if that is the case. Can he liberate the Amazonian people? No. He's not competent. His organization is not. He's waiting on others to do so. He's not leading anything. The war effort is being led by the Ambazonian Defense Forces. The diplomatic effort is being led by the Ambazonian Governing Council. He relies on CDN, which is a neutral group. We have had that conversation with him. Yerima raised money primarily for the prison. We have that on record. We know that. But we try to drag everybody ahead. Even when we say let's collaborate for 1st of October this year, we are collaborating for 1st of October with a group that have no footprint on the ground. And they are fighting to put their picture first. So the IG pull out from collaborating on 1st of October when we are collaborating with the consortium. They pull out because they don't want the picture to be there. They want the picture for us to put their picture. And what happened? The AGOC went ahead and organized 1st of October march all across Ambazonia. The IG did not have one place that they can show or one flag that could be raised in their name. So they are fighting to collaborate with us for our efforts and expect us to project them. Nonsense. They are a paper organization. They are a paper organization that we have dragged along. Like Milton Tucker came out to say, the justification for their existence is that there are some donors that are only going to donate to them and to nobody else. So I will put the blame on those donors. The other excuse is that you cannot attack somebody who is in jail. We have been making that excuse for Siseko. Siseko is in jail, but he's the one handling everything in the IG. He's the one doing everything. He's the one doing everything. Yerima is not doing anything. We know that because he has said so himself. You have the Nalovas of the Milans. You have the Milton Tucker, who will spend their time out there calling people behind, blackmailing the egg of sea, hoping that the impression they have created against the egg of sea will stick. It wouldn't. It has so far just because we decided to pull them along. Like Mark Barakta said, Ambazonians have to divorce themselves from this IG for us to be effective in liberating our country. Everybody have to align with an effective movement. It is an obligation if you are putting the flag and the country first. There is no option. There's no alternative to the leadership of the governing council, not because we want it that way. It has turned out that way. It has always been that way from the beginning. And anybody who is reasonable should acknowledge it. And if you will not acknowledge it because somebody tells you to acknowledge it, what does that say about how much you love Ambazonia? In any case, I must end with the good news that comes from Boya, from our capital state. In Victoria, the news of the bomb attack that took place in Victoria, the Ambazonian forces have struck in Victoria. Cameroon have rushed to cover up and try to cover the evidence of the bomb that took part in Victoria. Our youths are rising up to stop this Nations Cup that is an insult to our people. Our people, they don't ask for the location where the bomb it take place. The bomb take place for half mile, not directly for half mile. For any man we know, una fit call around there for find out. For around that old petrol station where they go like for around New Market, so for Victoria. Now around that traffic light, for that place they put that big television for up there. Now for the way a bomb attack it take place, now just a warning from Ambazonian youths them as they don't deny this Nations Cup. Any person who will come from abroad for Atenam, he will be arrested. And we don't see also bombs from Boya. It show clearly indication, me the international community, they understand, say this Nations Cup is an affront, and Ambazonian people will be forced to act.
I don't get another place to go, but I don't tire profession. Now who's I really go? Many people don't die, you know. Town and village don't lie, you know. Cause our leader them be lie, you know. We need the truth to shine the light, you know. Oh fuck, people don't done.
Capo Daniel, signing off.
If you don't like, you back and go. I look for front, go low, no day. I look for back, damn ain't no day. In the midst of this strong situation, keep on giving us conditions. We need truth, we need justice, we need dialogue and reconciliation. I don't like me palava, abakwana so na wahala. I used to go stand there tomorrow. No get choice than to follow. Cause if you meet up, you kill me.